What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwin Hands. It's Jakob per usual, and Daniel can't make it right now. But I have a special guest, XFC President Myron Molotky. Myron, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Jacob. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. So, just so the viewers get to know you, how can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Myron Molotky, president of XFC. Live in West Michigan. Looking forward to getting things going in Atlanta with XFC 43.
So, how'd you get started with the XFC?
I was approached back in 2011, 2012, just with my experience in sports in general. People looking to expand XFC on an international level approached me and said, hey, you'd be great at this. And of course, that's up for discussion always, but been having a lot of fun. Followed the sport. I was involved I was in Golden Gloves boxing when I was younger, and I've always loved the banging inside the ring or the cage.
So, what was your involvement in sport before the XFC besides the Golden Gloves?
Well, I played hockey growing up, and played in college as well, and a little bit of minor league hockey. Always a backup goaltender, so of course that kind of fits in. If you're not right in the head, you might fit into this crazy world of combat sports, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, what made you decide to want to reboot the XFC after 5 years off?
Well, that's always been the plan. We went on the sidelines back the very end of 2015, early 2016. We were approached by many companies that were looking to purchase XFC. And that was a long process. We've been working hard since 2016. About a year and a half ago, got approached by what we feel is the right group with a solid financial backing and also the same vision we have for the business model for XFC.
So, how have you been going about acquiring talent for the new XFC?
Well, acquiring talent has never been an issue for us. Going back to our early days, XFC has had a process of a grassroots strategy of having tryouts. But, as companies become more successful in this arena, every manager, every coach, every fighter reaches out. Everyone's always looking for, the next thing. They're always looking for the right platform. And we're fortunate that our MDC deal creates a platform where we're attracting top talent.
So, do you guys expect to stay in the Midwest region or look to expand to a national promotion like Bellator or the UFC?
Yeah, no, the plan has always been international, same as UFC and Bellator. We've had that experience, going back 2012, we carved our roots down in Brazil, Sao Paulo, and made quite a splash in Latin America that trickled into Europe and North America as well. So the goal is international event. Grassroots company on a global basis has always been what we've talked about. But our focus right now is events here in the U.S., not Midwest specifically, basically a national event.
So, how do you expect to get into these international markets with all this COVID stuff going on?
Well, that's difficult. I think it's difficult for everyone, right? There's so many fighters. When we were in Brazil, we had 180 fighters exclusively signed to the XFC, representing 35 countries. So we still have our connections with fighters from all over the world. The difficult part is making sure that we create a safe environment and we're able to travel these athletes. So you're going to see in XFC 43 in Atlanta, we're going to have great representation from many different countries.
So, speaking of XFC 43 in Atlanta, what have been some challenges that COVID has presented in getting that event together?
Well, a lot of it, the logistics of getting the fighters, making sure that we had the right place. Atlanta being a great hub for international travel as well as domestic travel seemed to be a great fit. What's going on in Georgia right now, they've just been great to work with. The Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission's been great for us. So it's just really worked out well that Atlanta is going to be our home right now. We're starting that with November 11th.
So, how are you going to manage the COVID testing? Are you going to have a bubble or something like that?
We are. We've got our COVID protocol, and just to give a top 10,000-foot view. The medicals will be coming in for all the fighters that will be part of XFC 43. We're also going to have COVID testing prior to them arriving in Atlanta. We're going to create a bubble when we're in Atlanta with another COVID test several days before the event.
So after this event in Atlanta coming in November, where do you expect the XFC to go moving forward afterwards? Do you have events planned already?
We do. Our commitment to NBC Sports is a minimum of 6 events in 2021. And a lot's going to really ride on what's going on with this pandemic and our ability to move forward with that. But we're going to have anywhere between 6 and 10 events in 2021. Plus, with our business model, we introduced XFC Young Guns, which are pro debuts or young fighters just starting out their pro career. These kids are rising stars, so we're really excited about that. So we're going to have Young Guns events more on a regional basis as well.
Definitely. And before we wrap up here, what's one thing people should look out for in the XFC reboot?
Same thing that we've always presented to our fans. These kids appreciate, first of all, how they're treated, a lot of respect. We're out there looking for that next level of talent. So the XFC breaks down very simple. Young Guns, and then once we get through with the Young Guns, we're starting a tournament in November as well for both the 155s and the 170s in the men's division, and of course we're going to have our super fights, which are going to be fighters that all the fans will recognize that'll be inside the hexagon. So what we've seen is when you really bring together a model like that, we're going to have this homegrown talent where in 2-3 years XFC's roster is just going to be a bunch of killers. It's going to be great. And they know as soon as they step inside the hexagon, our expectations and our fans' expectations, every one of these fights is going to be a banger from the very first prelim all the way through the main event.
So can you, by chance, give us a preview on what one of these super fights could be?
I can't.
Ah,
Not yet. We're not ready to announce it, but I'll make sure that we touch base so that you can get a lead story on that. We're excited. Like I said, a lot of great free agents out there. Every manager, coach, and fighter, well, on a global basis, but even more specifically here in the U.S. has reached out. Everyone wants a piece of getting inside the hexagon November 11th. So we're finishing this up. Actually, today's our deadline for our matchmakers. Present our card. Let's go.
So before we leave, where can people find you and the XFC on social media?
Well, xfcmma.net is our website. XFC MMA is our Facebook. We have official XFC for Twitter. We have Instagram. We're all over the place. Our team's doing a great job with this relaunch.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us here. Myron, I want to thank you for coming on.
Jacob, thanks for having me. Looking forward to the next one.
So when can they find the first XFC event in November?
Well, it's already laid out there, except for we haven't really laid out the cards yet. So we've secured absolutely everything. We're just wrapping up the main event, hopefully today. The announcements will be coming next week.
All righty. Well, that'll do it for us here. You can find us on social media at Throwin Podcast and anywhere you can find your podcast. Again, I want to thank you for coming on, Myron.
Jacob, thanks for having me.
All right. Myron Molotky, everybody.